Today we will learn about Jesus' compassion as shown in Luke 7:12-15. In Luke 7:12 it is written, "Now when he came nigh to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and much people of the city was with her." The account recorded at Luke 7:12 introduces a heartbreaking situation. As Jesus approached the town, he encountered a funeral procession for a young man who was his mother's only son. The verse adds that the mother was a widow, highlighting the depth of her loss. She had already experienced the death of her husband and now faced the loss of her only child. In the culture of that time, this tragedy carried not only emotional pain, but also serious practical concerns. The woman's future likely appeared uncertain and filled with sorrow. Yet this painful circumstance soon became the setting for a remarkable display of compassion. The Gospel at Luke 7:13 explains that the Lord saw her, meaning the grieving mother. This detail reveals his attentiveness to the suffering of others. He was surrounded by people and engaged in his ministry, yet he did not overlook the personal anguish of one widow. Jesus was not indifferent to human suffering, nor was he too occupied to notice it. His example teaches Christians the importance of being observant. In our daily lives, we encounter many people carrying heavy burdens. Like Jesus, we should strive to notice those who may be struggling emotionally, physically, or spiritually. Luke 7:13 tells us that Jesus had compassion on her. His response went beyond simple awareness of the woman's situation. He allowed her grief to touch his heart. This expression of compassion reflects God's own loving concern for those who suffer. Jesus perfectly mirrored his Father's qualities, showing tenderness toward those experiencing loss. Christians today can learn from this example by cultivating empathy. Rather than remaining detached from the troubles of others, we can seek to understand their feelings and demonstrate genuine concern for their well-being. Jesus did not stop at feeling pity. The account shows that his compassion moved him to act. First, he addressed the widow directly, saying, "Weep not." These words were not a dismissal of her grief, but a loving reassurance that help was at hand. His response reminds us that comforting words can be a source of encouragement during times of distress. When others are grieving, kind and thoughtful expressions can provide strength and remind them that they are not facing their trials alone. After speaking to the widow, Jesus took further action. According to Luke 7:14-15, he approached the bier and restored the young man to life. Then he lovingly and he delivered him to his mother. What an extraordinary moment that must have been. The woman who had been overwhelmed by sorrow suddenly experienced overwhelming joy. This miracle demonstrated not only Jesus' power over death, but also his deep concern for human suffering. His actions showed that compassion is more than a feeling. It involves a willingness to help when help is possible. This miracle teaches us an important lesson about showing compassion to those who grieve. While we do not possess the power to perform miracles as Jesus did, upon resurrecting the dead man, we can imitate the spirit that motivated Jesus. We can develop a heartfelt concern for those who have lost loved ones or who are enduring difficult circumstances. Genuine compassion moves us beyond mere acknowledgement of another person's pain. It encourages us to look for practical ways to offer comfort, encouragement, and support during times of need. One way to cultivate compassion is by becoming more observant. Jesus noticed the widow's sorrow and responded immediately. Likewise, we can train ourselves to be attentive to the needs of others. Sometimes grief is obvious, but often emotional pain is hidden beneath a calm exterior. By paying attention to changes in behavior, expressions of sadness, or signs of discouragement, we may recognize opportunities to provide encouragement. Observing carefully allows us to respond in a thoughtful and caring manner. The Bible encourages believers to take the initiative in showing love. Rather than waiting for grieving individuals to ask for help, we can reach out to them. A visit, a phone call, a message, or a simple offer of assistance may provide much-needed comfort. As Proverbs 17:17 reminds us, "A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." True friendship is especially valuable during times of adversity. People who are mourning often appreciate knowing that others genuinely care about them and are willing to stand by them during difficult moments. The Apostle Paul emphasized the importance of comforting others when he wrote about, "By the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of God," at 2 Corinthians 1:3-4. The comfort we receive from God equips us to comfort those facing similar trials. Likewise, 1 Peter 3:8 encourages Christians to be sympathetic, compassionate, and tender-hearted. These qualities help us imitate Jesus' example. When we allow God's love to influence our actions, we become instruments through which encouragement and comfort can reach those who are hurting. Often, it is not grand gestures, but simple acts of kindness that have the greatest impact. A sincere word of encouragement, a listening ear, a thoughtful note, or a practical act of assistance can mean far more than we realize. The account of the widow of Nain reminds us that compassion involves both feeling and action. By following Jesus' example when we are observant, showing empathy, speaking comforting words, and taking initiative to help, we can bring comfort to grieving individuals and reflect the loving qualities of our Heavenly Father.